Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Jurassic Gamer for the ultimate dinosaur park experience. This is your home for Jurassic World Evolution 3, where we build, manage, and survive the most incredible prehistoric parks. Let's build. First, I want to thank all the creators for creating those amazing blueprints. Without those, building these parks would not be so easy. I appreciate the countless hours and efforts you guys invest in sharing these blueprints. These really make a difference. Special shout out to Viper Studios and Sean B. Your blueprints have helped me a lot in this episode. Thank you so much for that. So today we are starting something special. Instead of building a chaotic dinosaur theme park, we are creating a realistic animal park. That means natural habitats, immersive viewing areas, conservation vibes, natural enclosures, theme zones, and hopefully, no guests getting eaten or zero containment breaches. This isn't chaos, this is prehistoric perfect. The trickiest part of this build was to get this angle between the two buildings. I had to try different things to make this one work. Also, I would wish that the game gives us more options for the glass pieces, it's like the ones we can see through. Because right now we only have this one glass piece, which has the wooden edges and which is like worn out. It will be so much better if we get some brand new glass pieces with no trims in it. That will be so amazing. So this animal park that we are working on is inspired by the Toronto Zoo. Last week I was there visiting the zoo for in hopes of getting some ideas about how I want my park to be. So I thought of visiting the zoo and check out the habitats, the enclosures, and also the entrance. The entrance right now at the Toronto Zoo is under construction. So they had this animation of what the new construction is going to be, the new entrance is going to be, and that's what inspired me to bring this to build this entrance for my park. The building that we are working on right now is going to be the main building where our guests are going to buy tickets. They're going to have space for rest, for eating, refreshments. This is going to be the main stuff, the main building where people are going to come first. So the second building is going to be the plaza with two floors. It's going to be storage. The ground floor, it's going to be kind of like a park office, and the top floor I'm going to show like open air restaurant. Also going to fill up with some auto filling tables so that once the park opens, you can see some guests sitting over there enjoying the view, enjoying food. Because this building is not going to be accessible like the previous one, so we cannot actually go into the building. So just gonna fill it with auto filling, auto with the tables which automatically fills up with guests once the park is open. And then the bottom floor, I'm just gonna show windows. Now, actually, I wanted to go for a semicircle shape for the front part. I tried everything possible, but I tried different wall pieces, flooring pieces, but the best shape I can get for this one was a kind of like a triangle for the front. Whereas the actual in the actual park, like I said, it's been inspired. This design is inspired by the Toronto Zoo. They actually had a semicircle, which actually looked much better. So I'm just gonna use these glass pieces to make the railing for the terrace. So this is gonna be the one where we're gonna put tables for our guests, and I'm gonna use the auto filling table so that it actually shows people sitting on the terrace. You can actually see the park entrance and the rest of the entrance part of the park through this balcony. Um, Yeah, just gonna use these floor pieces to fill up the roof, to make that flat roof surface. And also I want to make it look pretty too, so just gonna make sure all the pieces are in set, and then just gonna put the pillars on which this roof is gonna rest. Yeah, these pillars are a little bit thicker, but yeah, these were the ones that would look decent enough. Now, so a main part of the of this building is ready. So just gonna extend the building sideways. Um, Probably just gonna keep this part open. I don't think so. I'm gonna make a roof for this part, so just gonna keep this like an open roof. Um, and I'll just add some sitting arrangements on this one, so we can have more guests on the terrace. And then now I'm sure even if I put the ladders, it's not gonna be accessible for our guests. But just to show some kind of accessibility for the restaurant, I'm just gonna put some stairs here. Um, yeah, I wish the game would allow the guests to climb the stairs. That would be so much better to create multi-storage buildings. Because then actually they would be functional if the guests are able to climb on it. But yeah, for now, we're just gonna show the stairs, and then to make the ground floor look like it's a functional section, I'm just gonna add some windows, and then just gonna add these planks to make the building look much more decorative. Probably I'm gonna add black edges on these planks to make it more decorative. But So the next part now to do is create the doorway, the entrance, kind of like a connection between the entrance of the park and the rest of the park. Um, back in my hometown, I did visit the zoo, the national zoo, which we had in our city. They had kind of like a maze creation um, for entrance. So when the guests enter the zoo or park, they go through a maze. After getting the ticket, they go through this maze before entering the park, kind of like a security check. So I'm just going to use the same idea here. I'm going to use these wooden pieces, the wooden fences, and the copper walls to create like a barrier. So the guests will. I'm also going to place like a machine, a ticketing machine, so that to create like an idea that the guests come here, scan the ticket, they enter the box, this box made from barrier and copper wall, and then they come out of the box, and that's it. They are inside the park. So I'm just going to use that idea here. And then just gonna decorate the barrier to look much more realistic. I'm just gonna place some decoration pieces around it. Now, hypothetically, the park is gonna be far away from main city, so the guests are gonna travel a long way before reaching here. So I'm just gonna place some vending machines, which would act as refreshments for our guests before they enter the park. So just gonna create some groups and place them as decoration. Now, a couple of buildings I saw in downtown Toronto, they have these similar planks that I've used in the second building, but they had these this black border lines on the planks, which actually look much better than just a single piece plank with one color. So just edited those planks that I created before with some black marking on the top. Looks much better than the previous plain ones. So just gonna add these new planks on the building, and also I'm gonna remove the old ones that I applied before, and just gonna replace them with these ones because these look much better than them. Coming back to the second building, we do have a lot of vacant space here. So just gonna create like a showpiece of all the statues of statues of different dinosaurs, kind of like a hall of Mesozoic kind of thing. Just gonna put the statues on display, create a wooden platform, and decorate the hall with some fencing, foliage like planters, and then create a shade in front of the hall so that us our guests can actually wait in the shade and admire these statues. I'm gonna use the grass pieces to decorate the awnings. Probably put fences around it too. So the buildings are ready. Now just need to give some touch up to these buildings. So just gonna add all the tables, chairs, the recycle bins. Just gonna add some. I would like fill in these buildings that we have created. Um, so these are the benches I'm talking about, the auto filling ones. So once the park is open, they should have fish on it. Um, and then again, these vending machines are an amazing piece of work. Thanks again to Sean B for creating them. And then the part between the two buildings gonna show it like a downtown. So I'm gonna keep them full concrete path. Just gonna add some decoration. I always love using foliage for decoration with fencings, and the grass piece. It goes so much better together. And then this is the so basically the park needs to be fenced so that in case if there is a dinosaur breakout, our park is secured. So just gonna put these fences around just to make sure we have the guests safe and sound. um and remove the cranes now since our park is almost the entrance is almost done, so we're gonna remove the crane pieces and complete the fencing, and then just gonna use the trees and create a forest around the park. And then yeah, so the first building that we created, it looks a bit dark. When I visited it off record, it looked pretty dark, so even in day. So just gonna use these LED lightings to light it up. Now I'm not using regular lighting because it doesn't glow in during daytime, and it's pretty dark during daytime too. So the only options were LED lights or the torches, the fire torches. But because this is a modern building, fire torches would not go good with that. So just gonna use these LED strips so that we can have lighting in the day as well as the night. Now, one key takeaway from this build, I would say, would be that even in daytime, we need to add lightings in the building. Even if you have glass windows, it still gets pretty dark because the roof is sealed and the sun is gonna be at an angle, so it's not gonna be the lighting is not gonna be as good as it actually is in real world. In game, it still gets a little bit dark inside the buildings, even with the glass windows. So I would recommend you to put LED lightings if you're creating these buildings. So after brainstorming a lot for the name of the park, I came up with Dino Valley. It fits perfectly with the concept that I've created in my mind for the park. The theme of the park, Dino Valley, sounds perfect. And then as similar to the Toronto Zoo, I'm just going to display the name right on top of the awnings, and just going to use those two pillars to support the name. I'm also going to give a color combination to these letters later. Now, since there is a lot of empty space between the buildings, I'm just going to fill it up with some decoration piece. So I'm gonna make the decoration piece with a combination of grass floor piece, bushes, trees, and then just surround it with fencing. And just gonna place some tables and chairs around that. Like create like a shade and then place the tables and chair around it. And then just gonna duplicate that around and place it around that empty space so it looks filled. So I've already created a welcome piece that I'm gonna place right at the entrance. This is gonna be serving as a welcome board for our guest, uh, and so that it looks like they are entering a dinosaur park. I'm just gonna place some dinosaur bones around it to give it that dinosaur look, and then just gonna add some foliage. I've already placed some planters on it, so just gonna add some foliage in it just to complete the look. So the next thing we're gonna do is add a fountain with a T-Rex statue on top, and then surround it with planters so we can add foliage on it. Maybe place some trees as well. Now, one key thing while placing trees or copy pasting trees is you might want to rotate them in different angles, and also like make one tree more into the ground, one tree taller, so that it doesn't look copy pasted. It just gives it that natural look. And then we're just going to go ahead and add some fencing all around the pathways, so that I always love adding fences to the path, because it looks much more pleasing with the fences around it. So just going to go ahead and add fences everywhere on the path. So it looks like we missed some bushes here. So just gonna add the bushes here. Also on this side too. Just to with the bushes, it looks like a complete look. Doesn't look empty. And then gonna randomly rotate the trees so it doesn't look fake. Looks like we still have some fencing left to do, so just gonna go ahead and complete that. Also gonna fence around the statue as well. There's still some vacant space here. So I'm just gonna create a signboard, put some fencing around it, and add some foliage, and create like a decoration piece. And also, it will serve as a instruction, like a guide for our guests. So the construction of the park entrance is complete. Let's do a survey to check the results. All right, so for episode one, I'd say that's a good start. We have built our park entrance, designed realistic guest pathways, and laid the foundation for a zoo inspired park. Next episode, we expand. Maybe our first carnivore exhibit or herbivore exhibit. But for now, the Dino Valley is officially open. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'll see you soon. Take care.